As we know, this is a devastating time for the NBA because last night, one of the greatest players to ever pick up a basketball happened to tear his Achilles. Ever since last night, everybody's been pointing fingers, trying to figure out who to blame and how this possibly could have happened. But realistically, everybody's equally responsible. The medical staff told the front office that KD was cleared to play, so the front office told the coaches told KD he was going to play, and KD being anxious to get back on the court, he was down with it too. So basically, no one person could be blamed for this mishap because at any moment, any one of them could have pulled the plug and said, nah, I'm good. But with the situation at hand, it does make me want to question the medical staffs and figure out what exactly does it take for a player to be cleared? As we know, no matter what sport you watch, athletes play injured all the time. But there's a huge difference between having minor aches and pains and being injured to the point where you gotta pop painkillers like a damn rapper in order to walk on your own 2 feet. Immediately after Kevin Durant sustained his injury, it made me think about Kawhi Leonard back in San Antonio. There are a bunch of San Antonio fans who still refuse to admit that the Spurs did Kawhi Leonard wrong.
He was never really injured. He faked it.
He backstabbed the organization by not playing.
Bro, no matter how you paint the picture, y'all are not Kawhi Leonard. You don't know what was going on with that man's body at any time. And I hate that I have to say this, but I'm gonna keep it real. You damn sure can't always take the word of the medical staff because obviously they make mistakes too.
Danny Green is in the news because he said that he played last season with a tear in his groin. A tear that was not identified by Spurs doctors.
Now, I have zero experience in the medical field. I'm a WebMD ass. Basically, whenever I research a symptom, I'm told I'm on the verge of death. Bro, I'm telling you, it's just a sore throat. It's not that deep.
Based on your symptoms, you need decapitation. Yes, you're about to die.
Hear that! But it doesn't take a degree or a calculator to realize when something isn't adding up. When Kevin Durant initially got injured during the Rockets series, everybody from the media to fans to even athletes were assuming that it was his Achilles. And ironically, Kevin Durant suddenly has a torn Achilles in that same exact leg. And y'all are trying to convince us that they're completely unrelated? Hey yo, that's basically like spitting in somebody's face and telling them that it's raining. Kevin Durant's injuries are about as unrelated as the Morris twins. My theory is that initially he actually dodged a bullet because the injury to his Achilles was only mild. But after being thrown back into the game prematurely on the most competitive stage in all of basketball while being down 3-1, the heel just gave out. That was way too much pressure. As fans, and even the media as well, we don't make the situation any easier for these players. We often take the word of the medical staff over the player that's physically dealing with the injury and we criticize him for it. Take Derrick Rose for instance. Back in 2013, Derrick Rose was cleared, but he said he wasn't coming back till he was 110%. People started coming at his neck, questioning his passion for the game, a whole bunch of nonsense. The moment Derrick Rose finally felt comfortable enough to return, which was a whole nother season later, the man tears the meniscus in his right knee. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Kawhi Leonard sustained a sprained ankle, sat out for a few games, returned, and re-aggravated that ankle against Golden State. The following season, Kawhi would sustain an injury to his quad, and even though he was cleared, he decided to continue sitting out until he felt he was ready. Remember, this is the same guy who re-aggravated his ankle after returning too soon. And y'all think he staged this injury just so he can leave San Antonio? The man verbally came out and said that he wanted to finish his career in San Antonio.
Would you like to finish your career as a Spur?
Yeah, for sure.
What made Kawhi want to leave was the lack of support from the organization. Let me break this down in a way the average person can understand. You wake up one morning, you're throwing up everywhere, so you decide to call out of work for a few days. After those few days are up, you're feeling better, but you're still a little queasy, so you try to call out because you don't feel you can work. Then the people at your workplace aren't taking it well, so they basically start criticizing you and accusing you of not really being sick. They start falsely accusing you of using your sick time. They're trying to say that you're trying to get an early vacation, all this other nonsense. This is basically the same exact scenario, only you know exactly how sick you are. So with all that being said, this unfortunate situation that happened to Kevin Durant really opens my eyes to a lot of things. One, we need to start having more trust in these players. All these guys in the NBA are competitors. Some are more competitive than others, but at the end of the day, these dudes want to be on that court. So if they say that they can't go, they can't go. 2, the medical staff may have to consider changing what they deem to be ready to go. And 3, as fans, we really need to stop questioning these players' passion. You don't make it to the pros by not being passionate for the sport that you play. Some of y'all out here questioning their passion and work ethic when y'all take extended breaks in the damn bathroom just so you ain't gotta work. Come on, bro, have that same energy.
It's only entertainment.